Hello, 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 Facebook friends, how are you? Ladies, gentlemen, children of all ages, gather around. Mind, Body, Bank Account, episode number 14. We are super lucky to have as a guest on the show today, 4th degree Shotokan black belt in karate with an honors bachelor's degree in biology and psychology, a master's degree in child study and education. So this guy's a teacher and co-founder, senior instructor of BMS Karate, Body, Mind, Spirit. I love it. In Woodbridge, Ontario. Please help me welcome our guest, Rick Kaye. Coming on in just a moment. Here he is, live from Woodbridge, Rick Kaye. How you doing, Rick?
I bow to you, sir. I'm good. How are you?
Awesome, awesome. It's raining outside, but I'm still having a great day. So hopefully you are as well. We got a whole bunch of people watching on the show right now already. I can see from all over Ontario. Guys, when you come on, feel free to comment with where you're tuning in from. I love to see how far we're reaching people. And, it's just awesome to see that people from all over Canada and the world are tuning into the show so that they can get tips on how to live the life that they want to build for themselves and the life that they truly desire and deserve, with tips like we're going to learn tonight from Rick about forming positive habits and having self-discipline. Because self-discipline is huge in the world of success. We can't just willy-nilly throw ideas out there. We got to have a plan, and being self-disciplined helps us achieve everything that it is that we are trying to achieve. Kelowna, BC in the house. Awesome to have you on, Terry. So, Rick, share with us. Give me a little bit of your story, your background prior to karate, why you chose that avenue in life, and how you got a black belt.
Great question. Well, there wasn't a whole lot before karate. I started that when I was just 10 years old, just over 25 years ago. Getting bullied as a kid, physical and emotional, all over the place. Mom decided it was time to get my brother and I, my twin brother, into a karate program to build up our confidence, get some self-defense skills, and just help us develop stronger characters. And within not a whole lot of time, we were able to just feel better in general about bullying and not even caring if people were being negative towards us. Just training a lot, having fun, going through it for a long time. I got my black belt after about 15 years, which is a long time for most people in the industry. I bounced around to a few different clubs, kind of started different styles, and found a really good fit. And I actually got my black belt at the same time as I was doing my master's program. So that was a lot to juggle. Down at the University of Toronto, taking a couple of subways and a bunch of buses up to North York to train a couple of days a week, and then on my own almost every morning before classes, and just putting in the time. And since then, opened up my own studio, BMS Karate. Just a super small correction for you. I'm not the founder, I'm a franchise owner. Louis Rossi is the founder, just to make sure it jives with the franchise agreement in there.
Sounds good, yeah.
Myself and a friend of mine, we opened up this place together just over a year ago. It's been going very well. And I got my 4th degree back in this past September.
Wow. Awesome. I mean, just getting a master's, a degree, a double degree, along with becoming a black belt is a huge endeavor. So I'm sure that, you had to have some serious self-discipline. So talk to me about some of the process. What were some of the habits that you formed to then, keep that self-discipline going, right?
Yeah, good question. Yeah, all through high school, I was motivated to get good grades and be successful in life in general, with career and finances. So I, all the time, I put my head down, buckled down, studied hard, sacrificed a social life to a certain degree, which I partly regret these days, but I'm in a pretty good spot with most things these days. Going through university, that was a big challenge, studying biology, psychology, very demanding program. Studied a lot, put in a lot of effort. Luckily, I still retain a lot of it, and it kind of comes in handy in this industry here too, like how the human body works and how people work and the human mind. So very interesting topic. And just put your head down, buckle down, do all your work.
That's it, right? I mean, there's no substitute for hard work. I got to tell you, I love body, mind, spirit, because that's what it's all about, right? I mean, you got the physical body, but if you don't have mental toughness, how do you it's tough to make it through some of the, not only the demands of life, but the demands of martial arts. Because I don't want to say I'm a martial artist, but I've been a lover of it, and I've been involved for a number of years, but nothing to the degree that you are. But man, you got to overcome some hardship in martial arts. I mean, not only does the body get broken, but your spirit can get broken if you're not mentally tough as well. Would you say?
Yeah, I definitely agree with that. Yeah, controlling your emotions and handling physical and mental adversity is huge. Of course, in the karate world, martial arts in general, inside the dojo, the karate studio, you know, your instructor, sensei will tell you to do things that maybe you don't want to do, or you have to partner with someone that you don't get along with very well, or just your own emotions of maybe you're making mistakes and you're upset with yourself and how to get past your own, just get past yourself. Like for myself, I'm really big on details and understanding why things are the way they are in life, and definitely in karate too. So I get down on myself when I make even the smallest mistake, even as a beginner and as a much more experienced martial artist too. I don't like making mistakes.
Yep.
So learning like, yeah, hey, I'm human. No one's going to judge you for it. Just do what you got to do. Help yourself get better. Help people around you get better. And that's really just through practice. People talk about, practice makes perfect. I heard a really good modification to that. Perfect practice makes perfect. Because I tell the kids all the time, my students, go home and practice, but practice the way you want it to be done properly. Don't just barely do it or go through the motions with no intent, but actually on how it should be done, and results can be seen shortly thereafter.
So true. I love that. And you say sometimes you're, a stickler for detail. And sometimes people are like, why? Why do you got to be so, so stringent on that detail? But it's so true. It's perfect practice. I'm so glad you said that, because that was taught to me when I was 12 years old, when I was at a fairly elite hockey camp, and it was taught to me by Gordie Howe. He said it to me in a seminar, and it was I believe you're the second person who has ever spoken those words to me, and that has stuck with me my whole life. And it's so awesome because it's so true. If you practice something wrong over and over again, you'll perfect it improperly. So perfect practice makes perfect. And that's a habit in life too, right? I mean, if you want to become great at something, make sure you're doing it properly, and then mother of repetition over and over again.
Exactly.
Right.
Yeah. That's one thing about discipline too, just taking the time and putting in the effort to actually do it over and over and over again. A lot of people want to do it a few times and they get bored of it, or it's good enough. And
right.
So working through and putting in the hours and tens of thousands and hundreds of thousands of hours and of whatever it is you want to get good at, that's huge.
It's funny because you said that 15 years is a long time nowadays to get a black belt. What do you think? Because I've had my kids in martial arts, bouncing around at a bunch of different schools and a bunch of different centers, and I kind of feel that there's a lot of gyms out there that really try to monetize their business, and I don't blame them. Obviously, you're in business to make money and obviously make an impact with the students that you're teaching. But I see people going from 0 to black belt in some schools in a year, 2 years. Like, give me your take on an 11-year-old with a black belt. Like, is that cool? I mean, is that do they have what you have? You're a black belt. How? Do you understand what I'm getting at?
Yeah, I guess there's different levels of black belt. It's hard to say. A child black belt is different than an adult black belt, just in terms of their overall knowledge and ability. I've seen some really amazing 10, 11, 12-year-old black belts who've been training for 4, 5, 6, 7 years.
Right.
But, you know, self-defense application, I'm sure would be different than an adult just because of mental processing in general.
Sure.
But yeah, something that we feel at BMS that we can differentiate ourselves compared to some other karate schools in the neighborhood is that we really try to find that best balance between good technique and boosting the kids and not making them be too perfect for the belt, but pushing them to a certain limit for a certain required amount of time so that they can't speed through, even if they know the material in like 3 weeks. Sorry, you got to go through a 3-4 month process of bettering yourself and your character. Right. Understanding. Belts do take long because a big thing these days is instant gratification. You want it now, you want it before now. You want it as fast as possible at light speed.
Yep.
You can't be a good black belt, a good martial artist in light speed. It takes a lot of time. There's so many layers to it, and I'm still growing as a martial artist and
sure,
of course. So I'm trying to help all my students, the 3 and 4 year olds, the 8, 9, 10 year olds, the 53-year-old adults we have in class. I want to help them all just improve information in all areas of their life, and it's a huge balance between running a successful business where, you know, you give me your money for your belts, and I don't care how good you are, and
right.
You have to, because I have high standards. I want to be represented well.
Exactly. Right. So, I mean, when those folks get out into the world and they are pursuing their dreams, whether it's opening a school or whatever they're doing, your name's on it. So you want them to know their stuff. Yeah. And yeah, this microwave society that we have is so crazy. People want rich tomorrow, black belt on Friday, you know, a super successful business next month. And you got to put in that work, self-discipline, positive habits, and just, you know, chug away. Right.
Yeah.
I like what you said at the start, though, that the reason Mom got you guys into the arts in the first place, to build that self-esteem and that confidence. And how do you feel about once you know your stuff?
Yeah.
It's easy to walk away. Wouldn't you say, from confrontation and from people who want to, you know, crap all over you? Did you feel it when you really know it, you can walk away without having to do anything?
Yeah, definitely, 100%. Yeah, people ask me that all the time. They say, "Oh, why don't you get into fights all the time? Because you know you can kick people's butts." And well, maybe I could. I don't want to really find out because I don't want to hurt anybody. And I don't want to be on the receiving end of any kind of violence either.
Yep.
But why? What is there to prove? Like ego, that's a big thing, especially for most males. But
true.
Someone says something you don't like, all right, you said something I don't like, big deal. That didn't hurt me.
Yeah.
But if it comes to, you know, defending yourself physically from any kind of potential injury or someone you're with, a friend or family member or loved one, then if there is a need for it, then yeah, I would have to use whatever training I have. But yeah, just up here, like I know, like why? What am I going to put on the line and hurt someone unnecessarily? So just walk away.
That's it.
Most martial artists are the ones who stay away the most from fighting because they probably know they can handle themselves physically, but they don't have a need to. The untrained people have something more to prove than the trained people.
I agree. My father-in-law taught me one thing a few years ago, and he said, and it was taught by his father, he said, don't do something just because you can. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it's so true. It's like when you know this guy's doing something to you and you know what the outcome's going to be, you can walk away because there's nothing for you to prove, right?
Yeah, it's already happened in your head and you know what you needed, and that's it.
Yeah, that's it. So, I mean, I love the arts. When I think about self-discipline, there's 2 areas that come to mind for me: military and martial arts. Those two areas are just like, they're the personal development areas that speak to me because I came from sports and being taught and being coached, and you know the drill sergeant or the master in front of the class is absolutely huge for me, and I just think that that a martial art teacher can do so much for youth. It's like you just give them that something extra to pump up that self-esteem that changes people's entire lives.
Yeah, huge. Yeah, definitely.
You know?
A lot of people think, oh, I'm a black belt, that means I can go start teaching. There's way more to being a good teacher than just being able to throw some fancy kicks.
Exactly.
Why I really appreciate that I had the 2 years master's program in teaching with children, and I went back for more courses on motor development, how people even learn motion skills, how to use their bodies.
Definitely.
On some coaching courses I took, and studying under some really good instructors, learning just little tricks on how to make things look easy. There's some classes will have be a sensei day where the kids get to try and teach the class, and even the adults too, and they say, I don't understand how you make it look so easy, not to toot any like my own horn at all, just like
right.
I've practiced doing this, I've learned a lot of skills, and there's a whole lot to it that people don't even know. So I'm so glad that I got out the background to, I guess, hopefully separate ourselves from other schools in the area that, you know, qualified instructors make a big difference.
Big time, big time. So nowadays, where you are in your life, the martial art philosophy is, you know, progressively bettering yourself every day. What are some of the things that you do on a personal level, day in, day out, from the self-discipline, positive habit forming standpoint? Talk to me. What do you do?
I try to learn something new every day, by reading something or thinking of a random idea and then trying to pursue some more information online.
Yep.
A lot of different martial artists, different styles, and from different countries even, all the time online, just to get different lessons and thought processes from them. Because 4-3 black belt means really nothing. Just I've got more practice, but
you're a humble man.
Doesn't mean I have more knowledge than someone else. So I want to take in as much as I can so I could put it back out to my
right.
kids, my students. So trying to learn, and so as a habit, just watching and learning as much as I can. And
you're still very much a student.
Oh yeah, you have to be a student. You can't stop training. If I tell any of my students to do something, I have to be the best at doing it to show them how it's supposed to be done. I never ask my students to do something I can't do.
Right. Yep. Yeah.
As I get older, 60, 70, I still want to be in good enough shape where I can still run circles around these, hot shot kids.
Yeah.
Show them what's supposed to be done. You put in the time, the effort, you have the skill. Why not?
That's it. Well, I'll tell you, you do some pretty mean push-ups and squats. When I was doing those push-ups, man, I watched your video, Rip Off 50. I'm like, dang, I got some serious work to do. I got some form work, and then you punch off 100 squats too, and I'm thinking, holy jeez, man, I wouldn't be able to walk the next day. But hey, you know what though? It's seeing other people, doing those little things. It motivates somebody else to say, you know what? Why don't I put some of that into my life, right? It's we go through life just, waking up, going through the regular routines. But if you really want to better yourself, something has to change. And sometimes it's that one little habit that we're going to put into our life, whether it's making your bed in the morning, doing 10 push-ups, or, like you said, just finding some new thing to learn, right? And to investigate and to better yourself. So, we've got to constantly be a student of the game. So, karate. Yeah. Were you introduced to other martial arts along the way, or was that kind of the first art that you started studying?
It was the first. Mom looked through a booklet from a community center around the corner.
Yep.
And there was two being offered. It was karate and judo, and she picked karate. Sure, happy to do it. Finding out later that it's got a lot of differences from the ground game of judo, which I still like. I've done lots of different arts. I don't have black belts in any aside from just the karate, but some jiu-jitsu training.
Yep.
Really martial arts, real life self-defense. A company called Safe International, I was recruited to teach for them as an independent consultant. So
nice.
I For 3 years, I spent teaching at a different at a different high school every week,
Yep.
all across the UK, from Peterborough out east down to Niagara in London, down in the west, southwest. Just real life understanding what violence is, psychology behind it, how to stay safe just by being aware in general. So I think that also brings a lot of different flavor to self-defense in karate.
Yes, sir.
Self-defense, like no one's going to attack you with a karate style attack.
I'm glad you say that. So true. I'm a big fan of that situational awareness and knowing you can see when something's a little shady. And rather than walk down that street where those bunch of guys are kind of hanging out, why don't we choose that path over there and totally avoid it? That's pretty smart. When I'd rather be able to use my brain and walk that way than use my fists and potentially get hurt, right?
Yeah, it's a great idea. I totally agree.
Hey, my first martial art instructor taught me, for lack of better words, get to the point where you can get away. You want to learn you want to live another day. You want to stand there and put your life at risk. If you can get a guy out of your range and run away, hey, you don't need to be a coward. You're waking up tomorrow morning, right? And that's the whole name of the game, is to stay on the good side of the dirt.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, people say, how often do you use a karate? Well, every day, just to stay aware and know what's going on around us.
Right.
To avoid any potential altercation.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Okay, so what's the ratio of children that you have in your class?
Ratio of what?
I mean, kids to adults, because I'm a big fan of pushing up kids. I mean, they're the next generation, for, to sound cliche.
Yeah.
But in your classes, what are some of the, again, I'm pushing the idea of self-discipline, right? Self-discipline and habit forming so that you can achieve your dreams and goals. That's what the whole show is all about, right? It's these little tidbits of info so people can grab to help them on their pathway. So when it comes to self-discipline, what are some of the things that you teach your kids when they leave the gym? What do you ask them to do in their regular lives to, keep making steps towards their goals in the class and outside of the class?
Yeah, almost every class, when we do our final bow, we always give out some kind of homework. Do this exercise X many times, practice with your parents, get them to hold a little pad for you or their hand or a pillow and practice it this and that way with certain details. Not for a long time, 5 minutes a night, like 10, 20 repetitions just to get some kind of habit. It's the ones that do practice, we can really tell. A lot of times we'll say, hey, who did their homework last night? And like one kid will put their hand up like, oh, you gotta put the effort. But
so true.
We can't really hold them accountable that much. They do what they want to do, and the parents have to be on board to a certain extent.
Yep. But that's the key, though. You can see who follows through and continues with that discipline, continues with the habits, right?
Yeah.
And it's evident in your class, and you can see who is moving up and who's listened to the instructor and making strides towards their goals. Whereas if you just go home and don't do anything,
you're going to forget and get worse.
That's it, right?
Yeah. At a point, I had a couple of notes on a board over here I want to make.
Yeah, go.
Just think about what discipline kind of means to me, because I think that's a pretty important topic. I know Napoleon Hill has his own kind of definition regarding emotion and the whole psyche, which I'm totally behind in many aspects. But I think just to kind of dumb it down and make it as basic and as simple as I can, you're just pushing through no matter what. Like, there's always going to be obstacles and pain, mental pain, physical pain for sure, all that stuff in martial arts world. But in life in general, there's going to be things that you have to go through that you don't want to do to achieve a goal, but you just have to tough it out and do it anyway. Then it comes to persistence and delayed gratification. Put off what you want to do now for what you want to have that's even better than this down the road. So
that's right.
Four very simple steps, I think. Just identify what the goal is, make it specific, and just figure out exactly what you want, figure out why you want it, like for me, like my goal for martial arts was, okay, I want to get to my black belt. Pretty reasonable goal, and I guess pretty common. Once you start, yeah, I want to stick with it and finish it. People say finish. You don't really finish the black belt, but that's another story.
Right.
Black belt, my why was, as a kid, confidence and status. I thought it would get me some kind of status where I'd feel good enough that I wouldn't get picked on.
Yep.
And it helps because if people find out about it, they're like, oh, I don't want to pick on you. Like, whatever. I'm not here to hurt anybody, so don't bow down to me just because I have this fancy color around my waist. But big deal.
Yep.
Part 3, figure out what is required. Make a plan. Find someone you could study under, and push through. And a sidebar from that is figure out what you have to sacrifice. There's social sacrifices, financial sacrifices, emotional, tons of things that you have to give up, which you're going to want right now, but will be much better later on once you achieve your goal and feel even better about yourself. And the last one is, what am I going to do when I feel like quitting? The days you don't want to go in and train, the days you don't want to study, you don't want to do your homework, you want to just go with your friends, you want to take a nap, you feel sick, you want to just stay home and rest. Yeah, rest is definitely important in martial arts. You have to let your body recover. But you got to do it. You can't.
That's it.
You can't reach the top levels without doing the time.
That's it. That's commitment, though, right? I mean, I don't know if you ever heard it, but I think the best description of commitment that I heard is doing the thing that you said you would do long after the mood that you said it in has left you, right? And it's so true. It's like, hey, I'm going to be a black belt. I'm going to achieve it. Yeah. I don't feel like doing the push-ups today. I don't feel like doing it. Well, if you want the good stuff, you gotta do A, B, and C to get X, Y, and Z, right? So, yeah, very true. I like that. Everything that you just said there just is with a little bit different wording, all the same stuff that I love to talk about, that whole plan to achieve the goal and, that commitment and you were saying you got to give up some stuff. You got to, if you want this, you may have to give up that. And the Les Brown quote that I've followed for the last 20 years is, you must be willing to do the things today that others won't do so that you can have the things tomorrow that others won't have, right? That's awesome. I can see your lips moving because you know exactly what I'm talking about. It's beautiful. It's awesome. Well, Rick, listen, I'll tell you, what you have done in your life, and you say you say it took you 15 years to get your black belt, and you look like you're about 25, so but that's a good thing, man. That's a good thing. So you're going to look young forever. And but yeah, you've shared some incredible stuff with us, man. I mean, the arts are so powerful in confidence building in people, and that helps in the personal relationship, the business world, everywhere. Self-confidence is key. So I love what you're doing. I love body, mind, spirit. I think that's incredible, right? It's not just talking about fists. It's the trifecta, right? It's the whole all-encompassing. So thank you.
Yeah, I'm so happy that I can make a difference in so many kids and younger adults and even adults, my age and older, just make a difference in their life.
Heck yeah.
Confidence is huge. Physical fitness. A lot of people, especially adults, they come for the stress relief and they're maybe not as in shape as they used to be or as what they want to be. Just even small steps, you can see just how they care of themselves. And the parents from the kids, like, hey, little Johnny is doing so much better in school. They don't get picked on anymore. He's just much more quiet and confident at home in general, more obedient, just a better person.
Yep.
And what we do, it's great. I love it.
Yep.
Do it yeah.
It's all good stuff, and it's your life. It's not like something that you do. It's you. This is you. You are Rick Kaye, Sensei Rick. Right? That's it. Yeah. Awesome. Well, listen, Rick, I'm going to let you get back to changing lives, turning people into machines, building the mind, right? I mean, so thank you so much for taking time out of your busy day today. It's been great chatting with you. I doubt this is going to be the last time that we're going to talk, but Thank you so much. And the parent support, yeah. I'm looking at your comment from Alana Kaye. How do you know Alana? That's mom? Great name. That's my wife's name. So
great lady too.
Good stuff. Well, clearly she's done well. Now you're telling me that you have a twin brother.
Identical, yes.
Wow. And is he in karate as well?
We got our black belts together. I was pursuing the education, teaching education. He was pursuing medical school.
Wow.
So we just his 4th-year residency as a chief resident for neurology at Dartmouth Hitchcock Hospital in New Hampshire, one of the top hospitals in the U.S. He's going down to Cleveland Clinic starting in late June, which is the #2 hospital in the USA for sleep medicine.
Wow.
So some success in the genes, I guess.
Mama done did good. Good job.
Yeah.
Awesome. Well, listen, Rick, you take care of yourself. Have yourself a great night. Please, in the comments below, post links to your school. I'm sure people are going to want to know how to get a hold of you. And, yeah, thank you so much, man. I really appreciate it. You're doing some great things out there, brother.
Thanks so much for having me. I had a lot of fun. This was great. Thank you.
All right. You take care. We'll talk soon.
Sounds good.
Okay, Rick. Wow. Hey, getting your black belt is huge enough, right? I mean, it's quite the endeavor. Most people think that it's not possible for them. But 2 degrees as well. Clearly, Rick is on a mission to change lives and help people become better in theirs, right? So if you can get any information from what Rick shared here today about, self-discipline, doing the little things and doing them well, right? Perfect practice makes perfect. Perseverance, pushing through the hurt, right? All those little things are huge in becoming the best person that you can be. So, rewind the video, watch it again. Hear what Rick's talking about. Put in that work, build that self-discipline, start honing those little habits so that you can get better every day, right? That's what it's all about. So, thank you for tuning in to episode 14, Mind, Body, Bank Account. Now, tune in on Thursday. On Thursday, I'm very fortunate to have a young lady on my show at 7 o'clock who is a #1 best-selling author. She is a mega speaker. Shared the stage with some of the biggest motivational speakers out there, and we'll let her share that with you when she comes on. Mega speaker and a true happiness coach. She's the founder and master coach at The Lifted Lid, where she teaches people how to be their best, to receive abundance from life, and she also teaches couples how to build long-lasting, loving relationships. So, join me Thursday, February 22nd, as we talk with Haley Patry about building a positive mental attitude and learning from adversity and defeat. That'll be on episode 15, Mind, Body, Bank Account, on Thursday, the 22nd of February, 7 p.m. Tune in, guys. Thanks a bunch for joining. Remember, until we chat again, continue to keep your body strong, your mind open, and your bank account growing. Take care, everybody.